Hello and welcome. I am Arun Kumar from Beautiful Mind-IAS. Do you think that punishment is effective in controlling behavior? And if it is effective, in what situation it is effective? What are the pros and cons of punishment? This is the question exactly that has been asked in Civil Service Examination 2024 Psychology Optional. I am going to discuss its model answers. So let me show you the exact questions. Here is the question. Does punishment work in all situations? First part of the question. Discuss the pros and cons of punishment. 15 marks. Okay. So does punishment works in all situations? You need to examine and discuss the pros and cons of punishment. Easy questions, but I will let you know. See, punishment. What is the concept of punishment? This is, to start with, we can say that one connotational thing is that anything that is undesirable, painful, that is called punishment. Undesirable. In layman terms, I am talking about undesirable things. Okay. What is desirable, what is undesirable become very subjective things. And this is the reason that B.F. Skinner, who extended the basic theory of behaviorism, said that it is very undesirable terms is very unacceptable. It is very subjective things. So what you can say that anything that follows a behavior and decreases the frequency of behavior should be called punishment. So he gave an operational definition of punishment. Who gave? B.F. Skinner. In his concept of operant conditioning, he said that operational definition of what? Of punishment, that anything that follows a behavior, and decreases the frequency of behavior. So important criteria is that it should decrease the frequency of behavior in follow-up. Getting? So I hope you have understood. So this one is more acceptable now. I hope you have understood. Now question is, once again have a look on the questions. Does punishment works in all situations? Come to the questions. Means, in what situation punishment work? Does it work in all situations? If I ask you, then we can take help of research finding that situation when punishment work, when P for punishment works. I am writing here for saving time and all, but in the examination you should write properly. Okay. So in what situation punishment work? Question is this one. First, when a behavior that is being punished is associated with alt behavior. Alt means alternative behavior that should be reinforced. Suppose this behavior, suppose this is a pen, and suppose a child is throwing this pen or banging on something, you hit this thing that don't do this thing, then you can write with this pen. So this is the alt behavior. In this situation, when one behavior is punished, but you know this thing that is stimulus and response. Behavior is made up of basically stimulus and response in behavioral term. So stimulus is there and response is undesirable. So you say that what response? So alternative response. Here I have written alternative behavior, alt behavior. More appropriately you can say alternative response is suggested and it is reinforced also. When child start writing on this thing, good. So in this situation, I'm telling this thing that on the basis of experimental research finding, this is the situation where punishment works. First situation. See, the second situations I am writing here that cognitive behavioral psychologist, you can say that when punishment is explained, explainable in sense, explained means whatever punishment you are giving is punishable. You have a scope to explain that thing to the subject, otherwise reactions come. Even Bandura and Michel and many other researchers have conducted research on that punishment is okay. He is actually social learning theorist, know this thing, that in follow-up research there are group of psychologists who conducted research on that. Then there is a punishment when you have, suppose somebody is there to explain that thing. Otherwise, in cognitive behavioral psychologists say that they may, subject may have reactions toward the person who is giving punishment. So punishment is explained or it is explainable. Suppose you are just giving in a mechanical way, like Skinner gave electric shock to rat. In that case, human beings are not. We are cognitively active being, this thing. So from cognitive perspective, this is also a situation. If you cannot explain the punishment, that situation is avoidable. Okay. One more thing here. What things should be here? Third point. First point I have said, second point I have said this thing, and third point is that when punishment, this behavior, whatever behavior is performed, behavior is actually its meaning is what? S and R. So whatever response is being given toward this stimulus, the whole behavior and punishment. When this behavior is more dangerous than punishment. When behavior is more dangerous than punishment, you can ask me one example, that when suppose a child is putting finger in the electric socket, getting, or touching the electric wire, it could be dangerous, or going nearby something, that could be a dangerous thing. So in that case, if you give punishment to suppress this behavior, control this behavior, then it is said that it is effective. It is effective and justified also. Getting? So I am giving you situations then when punishment is more effective. But here, this is the things that when you can say punishment is unethical and all these things, but here it is justified. Then when behavior is dangerous, more dangerous, dangerous. You have seen this thing, there is if you are given a challan, a speed challan, for what? Because that could be fatal, result in fatal accidents. So that is why you are given that much challan. So this is the reason, this is justification in this one. But here I am telling you that what is the exact situation where punishment is effective. So this one is the best things I have already said. Okay. Now you can think in what situation punishment is effective. See, suppose you are trying to control, the things. That is all things are here included. That is, there is no way to control. Suppose justice system, without punishment, how can you control the crime? Immediate requirement is there. So all points will come here, that when punishment is needed, immediate requirement is there. Immediate control is required. In Sambhal there was some incident, this thing, and now immediately you want to control the violence and all. What you will do? You will use, force. You will punish in some way, and if required, you please open fire also. What is the justification? To control the violence for larger good. So in that, this is the ethical thing. Now come second part. First part is okay. This part you can discuss. The second part, I should go here. That pros and cons of punishment. pros. What are pros codes? Is it that very prompt control? This is pro. See this thing. This is the pros things. Punishment immediately control that behavior. If you punish the things, drunken driving, very speedy driving, or this kind of the child kind of behavior, it help you to control. This is the pros kind of things. Getting no any other mechanism is there. If you use alternative mechanisms, you should go for reinforcing the desirable behavior. It takes time, but it is very promptly it control this thing. This is the most important pros you can say this thing. Here it is very specific. Getting you need not to control all the things. Very only undesirable behavior is punished. Likewise, you can list this thing. And what is cons? It is generally it say the unethical. Okay, these finding whatever things I am telling you based on the experimental studies. Remember this thing and analysis. It is unethical. Okay, that too much very harsh punishment if you give. Likewise, punishment is effective when it is very severe. Otherwise, people develop tolerance. Remember this thing. In that case, you try to give very harsh punishment. But what happens? You are giving challan of 2,000 rupees. A person have some, suppose in going to hospital and somewhere, and e-challan has come. Now see this thing. Likewise, harsh physical punishment is very harsh. In Saudi, there is in 2024 there is a data that in comparison to 2022 and 3, 41% rise in capital punishment. Death sentences are there in Saudi Arabia. So can you believe this thing? These are the very harsh punishment. It could be very unethical. And when you give this kind of punishment, then learner is not learning. Other person is learning from the things that, see, he did this thing, rapist has done this thing, that is why he has given capital punishment. So other persons are learning this thing, I should not do, but he is, you are wiping out that thing. So many individuals say that this kind of punishment is very brutal, because learner is not learning anything. You are just wiping out his existence. So that is one thing. And sometimes very suppressive. Only you just suppress that thing. May sometimes you just say you don't do this thing. It doesn't give you opportunity to learn what should I do then. So you simply control, controlling. It is not just controlling kind, no, or you can say little learning. It gives. These are the analytical point of view. We can write this thing. So first I discussed about what is concept of punishment, and then what experimental studies say about the effectiveness of punishment. I said this thing, see, situations where punishment is effective. I have given this thing. So if you write all these things based on your knowledge, I think you will be able to cover the answers, questions comprehensively. From my point of view, these things will be sufficient for you. Okay. If you read Barron, Morgan, or any book, you will find that these points are enough to substantiate your answers. I hope you have understood this thing. Now, one more thing I can tell you, that if you are interested in knowing that I should particularly question you have where you are having difficulty, let me know. Then I will be able to. I will try to answer that question. I will be happy to help you in that. And if you have any need to know cover the whole course, for example, coming year you are going to give these examinations and you do not have much time, then I have a foundation course in recorded form. You can subscribe to that thing. That has, you will get all the lessons, such lessons plus material, and you can watch the lessons as per your convenience, and if need arises, you can participate in weekly doubt clearing classes. So you can visit our website and get detail, beautifulmindias.com. So these such things, when you watch the lessons, automatically these questions you will be able to answer, because these concepts has been discussed in very elaborative way. So no need to memorize the answer to particular questions. Just understand the basic concept, fundamental concepts. You will be able to answer such questions. This is my advice. So if you are interested, you can go for it. Thank you. Thank you very much.